presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Tennessee.
The weather outside truly is frightful, but the Predators are getting set to play a big game and their fans are coming on. Western Conference Showdown will feature Pekka Rinne. He leads the league in wins among goaltenders. And down the hallway, he will be facing Logan Couture. Yes, 51 points already this year. It's the Predators and San Jose Sharks coming up next on Fox Sports Tennessee. Yes, it is an icy night, not just indoors, but out, as the fans make their way to Bridgestone Arena to see the Nashville Predators take on the San Jose Sharks. They're only meeting in Music City this year, and it's brought to you by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers. Good evening, everybody. Trying to escape cabin fever. Pete Weber along with Stu Grimson. Welcome into our telecast here tonight. Predators and the Sharks. And before we get to this game, how about the big news that sprung up about 48 hours ago, Stu?
A lot of people have referred to this trade, acquiring Mike Santorelli, Cody Franson from the Toronto Maple Leafs, as a depth move for the Nashville Predators. I would describe it as more than a depth move. These guys are impact players. Cody Franson, both these players really come out of this organization. Were drafted both by Nashville. Cody Franson is a member of a top two pairing in the Toronto Maple Leafs, playing alongside of Dion Phaneuf. Mike Santorelli, he'll effectively step in to the group here. He'll become your fifth leading scorer among forwards, tied for fifth with Craig Smith. So these are guys that can really add a lot to this club beyond just pure depth.
So Cody Franson, first, like you say, a top four D-man.
Absolutely. And top 20 in D scoring. He has 6 goals, 26 assists, 32 points. He's got that terrific shot. Pulls the middle, quick compact release, and he gets it through consistently. Mike Santorelli, on the other hand, could play any forward position. He's a guy that really has demonstrated a pretty good offensive touch, even against his old team right there. Santorelli, fifth in scoring among Nashville forwards as he kind of jumps into the group here. Really putting up a really solid season so far.
Okay, we've teased you. Those guys aren't available tonight for various reasons, but I'll tell you one who is available. He wears number 35. He'll be between the pipes. He's been playing very well. His name is Pekka Rinne.
3 weeks off due to knee sprain injury. He has been 4 games back. Stumbles a little bit his first outing versus Anaheim, but he really has regained form until he sees this club right here, Winnipeg, and really almost single-handedly won that game for his Nashville Predators. He was remarkable. Many game-breaking saves. Didn't have to be, wasn't tested a lot versus New Jersey, but again, made big saves when the game was on the line, and he's able to see the group through to a 3-1 lead versus the New Jersey Devils.
So for his efforts, third star of the week in the NHL ending last week, and now we talk about the San Jose Sharks, and there is a name that is still right there at the top of the list when you talk about San Jose. Jumbo Joe Thornton.
Big Joe, 35 years of age, and I'll tell you what, still extremely relevant. Sees the game, sees the ice as well as anybody in the business. Terrific scoring touch, a point-a-game player. Look at him so far. 12 goals, 39 assists, 51 points for Big Joe. He's still a force out there each and every night.
Logan Couture, the younger version, if you will.
He's the second of 2 highly skilled centers. Plays right behind Joe Thornton in the number 2 spot. Logan Couture also nearly a point-a-game pace. He's having a solid outing. You can see right there, 21 goals, 30 assists, 51 points on the year, riding a 6-game point streak for his Sharks.
So are you ready? Here come the Predators. Stay tuned. It's the Predators and the Sharks coming up next from Bridgestone Arena.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Nashville. By Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Fifth Third Bank. Stop by Fifth Third Bank to learn how you can be the seventh man. Fifth Third Bank. Member FDIC. And by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt.
navigate your way carefully into the building here tonight. Grateful we have here as many as we do with the ice storm that hit Middle Tennessee. Predators and San Jose Sharks, and Stu, how about those Toyota starting goaltenders?
How about him? Alex Stalock for the visiting San Jose Sharks. He is 5-6-1 on the year, 2.68 goals against average, .903 save percentage. He's got a shutout this year. Last time out was February 4th for Mr. Stalock. Allowed 3 goals on 23 shots and a 3-1 loss. And Pecorine comes to play for your Nashville Predators. 33-7-2, 1.97 goals against, .931 save percentage for Pekka.
And we are underway as the puck is dropped and Burns plays it past Joe Thornton. Josi and Weber. And the puck going in deep, and after it there, Bourque working against Vlasic. Bourque is helped out by Gaustad. But then the puck deflects away, and falling down back of the net for San Jose is Melker Karlsson. Karlsson plays on the top line. Setting off with Pavelski and Thornton. Back to pick up now, Logan Couture. Just underway here at Bridgestone Arena. And that one played off to the side by Rene. Up the wall. Dropped back. And coming back in now and passed off to Couture, and he misses the net wide. Brendan Dillon tried to set him up. Played back out across the line. Looked down low. Hopped up in the air toward the Sharks pitch. Not quite there. Wingels got a stick on it. Hurdle tried to take it away. Back to the net. Played over now for Colin Wilson. Wilson and Smith again flanking Ribeiro tonight. Back for San Jose. Wingels on the left board, sweeps it down, and cutting through that left circle, a KR pinball style there, off 2 sets of players. Fisher plays it in. Cullen comes in to help. Shea Weber from the right side came down the wall, and Matt Cullen comes up with the puck. Left it there for Fisher. Now Weber, a blast, it popped up in the air and comes down for Joe Thornton.
Smart play by Mike Fisher in a battle for it with Irwin. Lays it back to Weber as he wins that battle. Weber gets it through for the first good chance for either team.
Blockered away by Stalock at the last. Up the wall, Joe Pavelski for San Jose. Pavelski toward the net and a shot put right on. Rebound came out. Karlsson got the outstanding scoring opportunity there. And now the Sharks change up. Right wing side, Beck. Ripped around by Stalock. Forsberg, a backhander right on the net. Forsberg comes behind. And that shot broken up in front. Jarnkrok picks up. Beck with Burns all over him in the trapezoid. Josi lets it go back for Forsberg. Josi picks up. Backhander popped away again to the right of Stalock.
Terrific play by Josi. Strong backhand from just above the hash marks right in front of Stalock.
Forsberg picking his way in. Josi follows up. Tipped right on there by Jarnkrok, but it goes away high.
Josi with another strong play into the interior. Jarnkrok's going hard to the net. Redirect by Jarnkrok up and over.
Vlasic and Burns out on the D. Predators trying to dig that away from Shepard, and Vlasic slides back for Burns. On the left wing, picked up by Goodrow. On the right wing side, it is carried ahead. Matt Nieto. And taken away by Gaustad. Trying to pick his way in. Marlowe managed to stay onside. Couture shot it wide. From back of the net, Marlowe. Couture comes out of the corner. Turns back into it. Laid it out in front. Weber backhands it away. Nystrom tried to play it out. It was kept in. Going across, and that shot gloved by Pekka Rinne. Now let's go downstairs to Lindsay Rowley.
Hey guys, well, mentioned earlier, Anthony Bitetto, his gear somehow did not get on his flight this morning, so actually Jeff Camilio just came running down the hallway with his gear, so he actually should be out there on the ice fairly soon.
All right.
Post Cody Franson trade, Bitetto is reassigned down to Milwaukee, thinking that Cody Franson will be available. Immigration issues there, and weather at the root of all problems, especially getting Bitetto here into Nashville to suit up for the Preds tonight. Sounds like we're apt to see him.
Coming back, just activated off injured reserve for San Jose was Justin Braun on D. Cullen gives it back. Spike off the board there by Victor Bartley. There's the shot handled by Pekka Rinne as Chris Tierney took the shot. Our Ford keys to the game.
A couple of Ford keys tonight shut down the top six for the San Jose Sharks in spite of the fact that they are struggling, just hanging on to that last playoff position on the western side. They've got some high-powered guys in their lineup. Thornton, Pavelski, Marlowe, Couture. Put it at the Sharks net front. Jam it every chance you get. Already seeing some pretty good examples of that by these Preds. Stalock, a rare start for him.
Chase back into the zone by Matt Irwin. Cannon, who played a little bit here with the Predators before being sent back to San Jose. And now breaking right in. The shot and the score. Matt Irwin coming up from his defense position. Breaking in all alone. And scoring against Pekka Rinne here at 5:26.
Aggressive play by the Sharks. Going to see play transition out of the Shark zone. Rink wide pass, and it's Jumbo Joe. Lays it into the middle as Irwin activates.
Or Tierney wasn't? Yes. No, it is Irwin.
Yeah, it's Irwin. 52 for the San Jose Sharks, and a terrific shot by Irwin. It's halfway up the net on the stick side, just over the pad, just under the blocker. He fools Rinne for his 5th this season. Matt Irwin.
So they will test that theory I was working on the Predators website about comeback ability. Predators down a goal here in the early going. And the puck pops out of play just over the glass near the Predators bench.
Take another look at that San Jose Sharks goal. See it laid into the interior. Irwin, very aggressive play, activating up into the mix. From deep inside the Shark zone, pays dividends. He's in by himself. Untouched, unscathed from really essentially the Preds blue line on in.
So the D-man filled a gap there and then put it in the net. Shot steered aside by Stalock. Did not go into the netting, but he was trying to indicate as much. Burns away around Ribeiro. Tipped into that circle. Over for Marc-Edouard Glasgow. His pass deflected off Colin Wilson. Couture takes it in. Marlowe to the net, and that shot is gloved by Pekka Rinne. 6:26 off the clock here in the first period. Predators trailing San Jose 1-0.
Going to show you how that Sharks play develops way back in the Sharks end. That's Irwin right there. He's going to activate early. Number 2 is Craig Smith. He's got to hang with Matt Irwin as he activates. Makes the decision far too late, and there you see the separation between the two. Irwin in unscathed because Smith failed to check his shoulder, failed to account for him, and then Irwin in all kinds of time before he challenges Rinne, beats him stick side.
Puck off in the corner, left of Rinne. Bartley onto the right side with it. And Beck got it to Järnkrok. Here now is Forsberg. And tapped out of the San Jose zone. Ekholm with Victor Bartley. Up the left wing, tipped by Forsberg, fungled there by Jarnkrok. Forsberg picks up, comes on, got the shot away. Stalock is able to gobble that one up. This injury report brought to you by Vanderbilt Sports Medicine, and out of the lineup for San Jose, it's almost like the litany of saints. Please, I hope you can read quickly. For Nashville, Ryan Ellis and Anton Volchenkov on injured reserve. Mike Santorelli and Cody Franson expected to report on Long Island to the club tomorrow, and Victor Stahlberg. What a lengthy entry list there for San Jose, huh?
Seeing Anthony Benedetto take his first shift out there alongside of Seth Jones. So Gear has arrived and he's in it. And he's in the mix.
Quick shot and trying to come in and go between the legs there was Mike Ribeiro. We got to see that again. Got to see that again. Dugout coming down the left wing side with it now. And the pass across and the shot stopped by Rinne, as was the rebound.
Terrific save by Rinne. Pair of bids from the San Jose Sharks. Rinne fields both and sends it out the far side.
A couple of big stops in succession there. Tierney was breaking in. Back it comes. The shot blocked. Did not get through to Stalock. Joe Thornton comes out with it, curls back as the Sharks try to get a change.
Neil Towns, the one-timer from the outside, hits Wingles in front. He'll be credited with the block.
Now Nystrom can dump in and try to follow. Burns, Kostet on him. Pavelski tries to pick up the garbage, and Vlasic is able to outlet. Back to Vlasic it comes. Vlasic from the left side, shot stopped by Rinne. Rebound pulled in.
Here's the action earlier when that Ribeiro line is out there. Draw one back, and then Ribeiro's going to collect it here. Watch, he's at a bad angle. He's going to find it in the feet of his cross-check, and then a great little play back through the legs, off the outside, and there's the chance at the other end. Actually, a pair of chances at the other end. Tierney's going to follow up right there. Rinne with the pad save. Spits it out the other side.
Off the faceoff, sent back. Burns with a shot, deflected to Rinne's left.
Dangerous play in front. Weber goes to field that with his stick. Takes a strange bounce, fortunately away from the Nashville net. Goaltenders do not like you to make that play.
No.
Defenders.
No, not at all. Pavelski reverses to the right side. Thornton check. And now Pavelski to Vlasic coming on. Missed it stick side. 1-0 San Jose. As the defenseman coming up with the goal, Matt Irwin. Losing his footing in the corner was Fisher. The Sharks not able to quickly enough take advantage of the Predators' change. Nieto, and that one scooped up by Rinne with 10:57 left in the period.
Well, just the second coach in Predators history is Coach Peter Laviolette was named to replace Barry Trotz May 6th of 2014, 16, 11, and 2 when the opponent scores first this season. That's the bounce back factor you're talking about. That's the resiliency, Pete. Rather remarkable. You contrast that with last year's Predators team. They were only able to do that 11 times. Bounce back when having had the first one go against them.
Trade down at center ice and sent back in the Nashville zone. Lobbed out to center. Irwin comes back. Almost lost it cleanly there to Craig Smith. And back through center it comes. Here's Patrick Marleau. Trying to zero in on that puck, but taken away. The step on him was in the possession of Ekholm. Flipped out by Demers as Cullen tried to attack the San Jose end. And now Marleau wants to build a wall, breaking on Ekholm. And Ekholm instead takes him to the end board. This might have been the National Rodeo right there. Here's Hannon. Back up top, and that shot deflected back through center.
Two good defensive plays. First, Ekholm denies Patrick Marleau, then a smart block by Fisher.
Here's Shepard, back of the net. Tipped out wide. behind the net. The puck is poked. Barclay Goodrow trying to get there. And now it's Philip Forsberg coming in. 1-on-2, joined in by Järnkrok, but the puck slid away. And the long pass comes to the left board for Tyler Kennedy. Hannon. And now Shepard gives it over to Gaudreau, and that one off the stick of Rinne to the corner.
Play by Potato to front Gaudreau. Able to go stick on stick with him, and it squibs out the far side.
Nice hands by Forsberg. They're knocking down the puck just at the San Jose line. Back in on Seth Jones. Jones approached by Thornton, goes behind the net to get some help. Left wing side, tipped in from across center, read by Forsberg. Joe Thornton, does he ever leave the ice? If he does so, it seems like only momentarily so.
And covers a lot of ice when he's out there, too. He's just always aware of the big aircraft carrier.
Wingles trying to wrap around. That tipped up in the air to the corner. Now flipped right out in front off the skate of Wingles and covered up by Rinne. 11:21 off the first period. Clark. Sharks have outshot the Predators 10-7 and lead 1-0.
Anthony, a little bit of a late start, but finally got your gear. How are you feeling out there on the ice?
I feel great. I mean, you don't really need warm-ups all the time, and you know it's a good thing to be here in the NHL, and I'm excited, and we'll just see how it goes.
What do you think needs to be done here in the second half of this first period in order to hold the Sharks to just that one goal?
They're a skilled team, obviously, and they have a lot of talent up front, but right now we just got to get the puck out of our end and play in their side.
Thanks so much, Anthony.
Thank you.
Well, let's see if the Predators can do just that. Couture settles down a puck, got a shot, rebound comes up, and is fired wide coming down the right wing.
Harrowing chance for the Sharks once again. Quick release by Logan Couture from the wide side.
Here comes the man who just was stopped. He hit the pipe that time. Nieto. Predators coming back. Sharks get it back as it comes back around on the right side. Again, just reactivated Justin Braun. And this will be an icing against San Jose.
On your feet, make some noise.
Give you a chance to see that opportunity from the outside. Todd McClellan, Sharks buzzing. Here it is on the regroup. Outlet play to Nieto. Nieto, quick little half slapper. Fools Rinne again. Stick side, above the pad, below the blocker, inside of the post. Gosh, he cuts it fine. That's almost the insurance marker for these Sharks. Old Rinne off the left side.
Scramble as Demers comes over. And this, the initial indication was icing. That was waved off as the Predators started back up ice with about 7.5 to go in the first period. Played back out to center. Tagging up is Beck. Now Matt Irwin, who has the goal in this game. Here comes to Scott Hannon. To the left side of Mike Ribeiro, who goes over to get it. Seth Jones takes off from the right board. Wingles in pursuit. And that shot goes high into the corner. Knocked down by Neal.
Stick shoulder by Neal as well. Fights off the defender.
Sharks able to clear it. Hurdle. Spun it down inside the Nashville edge. Sharks 12 shots, the Predators with 7. And a Sharks defenseman with the only goal at this point of the game. Weber for Ribeiro, heading to the net. Smith, Weber the shot, no rebound there. Stalock held on to it.
San Jose Sharks head coach Todd McClellan, a Melville, Saskatchewan native. If you think it's cold and it's snowy here, folks, take a swing by Melville, Saskatchewan. It's his 8th season as head coach of the Sharks. He spent 3 seasons as an assistant coach in the Detroit Red Wings organization before coming over to the San Jose Sharks. Runs a good program, good communicator, builds good structure.
Face-off win to Weber to score! Weber got the draw, walked the line a bit to his left, put it away upstairs to tie the game at 13:42.
Big play by the Preds captain. Draw one back by Fisher, just as clean as can be. Weber, 2 quick strides, pulls the middle, and there you see all kinds of traffic. Up high as Weber's being fronted there. Sharks defender. But look at the legion of folks in front of Stalock, blocking his vision. No reaction from Stalock. Blows right by him. Shea Weber evens things up for his Nashville Predators with his 14th of the season.
Probably a tie for who provided the biggest screen between Thornton and Burns, as that one is gloved down by Rene. So Shea Weber's 14th, and it's all even at 1.
Here it is. Fisher wins it back. Weber, compact little wind-up. All kinds of people in front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of which, I believe, before that puck arrives at the net front, were blocking the vision of Alex Stalock. Talked about that as one of our keys here tonight. Jamming the net front, it pays dividends for the Preds in the back half of the first period.
Out of the corner, Predators in. It deflected back, and Eric Nystrom comes up with it now. And in that race, they say Vlasic had the stride at the dot on Gabriel Bourque. So thus an icing call against Nashville.
Here's another look, more of an ice level look for you. Get a sense of what Stalock's seeing, but from the other side. Weber with the seeing eye bomb. Well placed too. About a foot and a half off the ice. Very difficult for the goaltender to pick up. It's the reason we're tied.
Braun being chased down. Using now Dillon. Little scramble as it came out high. And all over the play there in the corner. Predators in after it, 2-on-3 effectively. Popped out now for Braun. Up the wall it goes, and this will be an icing on San Jose.
Talked with Coach Laviolette today, Pete. Made an interesting point. You know, he says we really got to take stock of who we're playing and their station in life. And this San Jose Sharks team is a terrific example. Currently holding down the number 2 wildcard spot, last playoff spot in the business, but here come the LA Kings behind them. Won their last 5. Minnesota's 8-1-1 over their last 10. They're bearing down. Point being, we see a lot of desperation in this Sharks game.
Jones got his shot. Rebound shoveled to Beck. Beck turning there on Shepard. Comes out, was thinking about going to his forehand. They changed his ideas on that. As the puck sent back out to the point. Forsberg toward Jarnkrok, tipped it right on. Stalock had to scramble. Shepard there with Jarnkrok. Forsberg tried to go back to the corner with it. Forsberg steals it away, and his shot handled by Stalock. 15-19 gone in the first. Predators and the Sharks tied at 1. Predators captain Shea Weber tied it with that blast at 13:42.
Preds fans, it's time for Hot Ticket Time, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Right now, buy a ticket for the game on Thursday, February 26th versus Minnesota, and get a second ticket of equal value or free. To order, call 615-770-7800 or visit NashvillePredators.com/Hot Ticket Time. This offer is good through the end of tonight's game, so please order now. And please stop playing those silly instruments.
Bounced off the back of James Neal's blade, and the puck is cleared from back of the blue line. Icing waved off thanks to Patrick Marleau. Logan Couture somehow corralled that puck. Marleau gave it back to him. Nieto goes to the front, took a little whap at it, no. And then a try, and stopped once again by Rene. The puck still free. Almost another great chance from Matt Irwin there. Fanning on the puck as he came across the line was Neal.
Important bounce-back shift for the Sharks. After goals, play is key.
Back it comes, and that shot taken, and the rebound flipped into the net. The shot was taken out high, and Craig Smith come to the front of the net and tipped it in. 2-1 Nashville at 16:02.
Terrific play to the interior. Look at the turnover there. Ribeiro forces Sharks to make a play they don't want to. Then he goes back across himself, finds Ekholm. Ekholm throws it at the net. Credit Craig Smith. I think this thing's going to the net. I'm going to go there. Rebound, spits up off of Stalock, and then he just bangs it in behind him out of the air. That's a tough rebound to reel back in for Stalock. Terrific hand-eye, Craig Smith.
So Nice taking advantage of the turnover in the San Jose end, and it ends up in the back of their net. Pavelski in the corner. Weber on him. And the puck slid away to Roman Josi before several players realized it. Weber comes on. The shot. Stalock again does not yield a rebound. So the Predators got 2 goals after falling behind 1-0 in a span of 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
Take another look at that goal. There's Ribeiro right there. Watch him. He's just forced the D to make a play they don't want to make, and then turns outside, makes a play to the interior, ultimately finds Ekholm, and Smith, again, credit Smith, going hard to the net front as he sees the play develop. Fortunate is he. As the rebound jumps up off of Stalock, he pounds it in behind him.
Back now for Seth Jones, and there's a whistle. And let's see what's going to be called on the draw here.
Interference, yeah. Interference. A draw one back. I believe Cullen stepped in as one of the Sharks is trying to front that play.
Nashville number 7, 2 minutes interference.
Let's take a look at it again.
Highlight Cullen from the inside. There you can see he steps in, takes away the skating lane of that Shark back checker.
So Chris Tierney, they say, was interfered with, and Matt just reacting to the replay of that, which he saw on the Megatron. First power play for either side. Burns and Marleau on the points. Marleau pushed down. Now Pavelski at the right side. Here's Burns. Pavelski tips it over to Marleau. And trying to get it to the slot area. Joe Thornton, who is working the right half board. His favorite slot. Predators could not get Gaustad back up. There's the shot. Flipped away, and the rebound too hot there for Pavelski to handle.
Smart play by Rinne, too. He realizes he can't reel that one back in and smother it up. The rebound I'm referring to. So he punches it out to the corner. Ultimately, the Preds are able to clear.
Fisher out with Järnkrok. Second power play unit on for San Jose. Hurdle falls down in the corner. Järnkrok clears it.
7th best in the business is the San Jose Sharks power play, in spite of the fact that they are struggling to string wins together.
Drilled in by Irwin. Whoa, what a bounce right out in front.
Rinne misjudged that.
They say Irwin kept the puck in. Hey, guys in the truck, you let me take a look at that a little bit later on? I kind of like that chance. Up the boards at Ascena, now back to center. Who was supposed to take it for San Jose? Predators come on shorthanded. That try then by Bourque is gloved down. So let's take a look again. Did Matt Irwin really keep the puck in?
Attempted clear by the Preds. Get a chance to show it to you here. As Irwin's back to collect it.
There's
very
White there.
Clearly, the entire puck crosses the line. You can tell by that angle right there.
24 seconds remaining on this Sharks power play. Burns. And now coming up ice, Dillon. But Burns is carrying. And carries himself into an offside. Bursting in a little prematurely there was Karlsson.
Converted back to defenseman is Brent Burns, all-star Brent Burns of the San Jose Sharks. And I'll tell you what, he is busy back there. We track I-Corsi. That's total shots, total attempts taken at the net, and he is always right up there. Third overall in the NHL, trailing just Ovechkin in that department. Busy from the blue line is Brent Burns.
10 seconds left in the Cullen penalty. Each side has had a shot on goal during this advantage for the Sharks. Carried in, Irwin, that shot blockered up into the corner, and that will take care of it. 2 shots on net for San Jose during that power play. The Predators continue to hold a 2-1 lead. Puck taken out by Eric Nystrom, and he'll backhand it softly into the zone. You hear them yelling from the bench. 1 minute, 1 minute. Comes back to Irwin, who had been on for a while. Shot it in, just glancing off the stick of Rene. Now losing his stick, and that pass is tipped away. Marlowe, as Ribeiro lost his stick, down low in that circle for the Predators. His backhand pass is tipped away. Taken up the board, slipped up to center, and James Neal tips it in, working it on Dillon. Going to be a penalty here. And interference will be the call against San Jose as Dillon tries to plead his innocence.
Brendan Dillon draws the interference call. Credit James Neal. He does a great job. Watch, little chip, and he's trying to get in behind Dillon to pursue that puck.
San Jose number 4, 2 minutes interference.
Keeps his feet moving, putting the pressure on Dillon to interfere with him because Dillon can't match the pace of Neal. And Neal draws the interference minor in the process. Barring a goal for, Preds will spend the last 38.6 seconds with the man advantage.
Bodies falling down. That was the large body of Joe Thornton who wiped out after that face-off. Rangers power play. Forsberg flings it in from center ice. Forsberg, Fisher, and Neal up front. Yossi and Weber, the points. And Rene comes way out, hoping they might be able to get another try on it here before time runs out in the period. 6 seconds remain. Here's Yossi. And it was tipped away from him. Fisher to the corner. Drilled up the wall. Quick shot was blocked by Couture, and that's the end of one with the Predators out in front of this one. 2-1. Coming up in our first intermission for you here tonight, the Mercedes-Benz of Nashville intermission interview. Mark and Terry in the Fox Sports Tennessee zone, and highlights and stats ready to come your way on this Fat Tuesday. 2-1 Predators at the end of 20. Stay tuned. The shots on goal, quite a few of them for both sides. San Jose 17 on Rene. The Predators 15 on Alex Stalock.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. And by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers.
Through the concourse downstairs by the Fox Sports Tennessee zone. Where are Mark and Terry? I don't know, but Stu and Pete are with you upstairs here at top section 309 as we head towards second period action. First period, the Sharks were able to strike first, but then the Predators, and we saw early, were putting the pressure on, able to cash in.
Yeah, I think so. The Preds may be guilty of underestimating their opponent, at least in the early going here tonight. The thing I thought really turned for them, Pete, and really will pay off one of our keys as we do it, they jammed the net front. Yeah. They started to get pucks there, they started to get people there, and they created chances as a result. You're going to see some instances of that in the early going, and then you're going to see the 2 goals have that very thing in common, jamming the net front. Mike Fisher's going to drive it wide. He lays it back here. Weber steps into it. But look at all the people in and around the net front. Cullen and Smith on either side. Forsberg with a terrific play on the entry. He's ultimately upset, but Yossi collects it. He feeds to the interior. Yarncroke going hard. Little redirect goes up and over, and here's the Weber goal. Watch the net front presence here. You got Smith on one side. You got Fisher going hard to the net front, and it's for that reason Weber's able to slide one by. That evens the score one apiece. Watch Ribeiro. He does a great job here pressing down low. He's going to force the Sharks to make a play they don't want to. Turns over, wheels to the interior. Ekholm grabs it. Ekholm throws it to the front, and Smith bangs home the rebound. Why is Smith able to bang home the rebound? Because he's going to the net front. He's jamming the net front, and he does a great job. Great hand-eye to bang it in behind a sprawling Alex Stalock to push the Preds into the lead. 2-1. That's how we close it out. That's the way we'll start the second period.
And start the second on the power play. If I was sitting down and deciding I wanted to watch a couple of highlights, I don't know if I look at the goal so much as that pass by Ribeiro and that earlier move he had off to the left side of Stalock from in tight.
He is really creative, and I'm fond of saying about Mike Ribeiro, he makes the pass you don't expect him to make. In that case, the Smith play, that's a prime case as an example. Again, he wheels to the outside, spins one to the inside. Ekholm's able to pick it up. Ekholm makes a smart play at the net. That's the scoring chance that Smith's able to convert for the Nashville lead.
So still time for the power play for the Predators. A minute 21 remaining. Dillon was in the box for interfering with James Neal. First power play opportunity for Nashville tonight. Sharks did not tally on their own opportunity. They start out with Couture and Wingles as penalty killing forwards. And somehow they didn't call offside there in the Predators. Ribeiro on the half wall. Smith now in the slot. Here's Ekholm. His other point man, Seth Jones. And that one tipped in front. Smith for the rebound. And he scores! Predators tally on the power play. 53 seconds into the period. They got one shot on net. I think it'll have to go down as 2 since the rebound went in. But in any case, it's a 3-1 lead.
Smith will ultimately be credited with the goal, but watch the job Colin Wilson does in front. Play's going to transition back. Ekholm is going to go around the top. Watch Smith Wilson down at the bottom of your screen. He with the initial traffic, probably a redirect, and then Smith is able to get in there, bang home the rebound, past Stalock. Yeah, the initial attempt, there you see Colin Wilson. The first shot, Pete, and then it's the rebound that ultimately Craig Smith is able to put in behind Stalock, insurance marker Nashville.
Predators almost forced a turnover there. Now Dillon, and tipped away from Braun. Fading back behind the Nashville net, Eric Nystrom. Joseph trying to shake his way free. Smith gets his second of the night, his 17th of the year. And Josi carries, deflected back. Shea Weber was ready. The gun was up, ready to be fired. And off it comes down for Bourque. In front, Gaustad scores! Patient stone there by Gabriel Bourque. Gave it to Gaustad, and then he had a yawning net to deposit that puck into.
Well, and with the fourth, it's looking like more of an onslaught than just a Preds lead. Terrific play by Gabby Bourque. Lays it back to the point. That one actually is fronted out at the point. The rebound skips up and over. Bourque is able to collect it, push it towards Gaustad. Terrific play over to Gaustad, and great patience by Gaustad to outwit Stalock. Gets to the far side. And then he's got about a third of an empty net to put that into.
Well, the fans here tonight know that on an ice-cold night, an ice storm night, they're going to get Frosties.
A tough turnover by Tierney off the wall. Stalock's out of position. Fortunately for San Jose, no Pred nearby.
And we have an icing here. So Wilson and Jones assisted on the Smith power play.
2 minutes for holding.
And here Mike Fisher gets called for holding at 2:14 to put the Sharks on the power play.
Fisher with the holding call. Tierney is fronting him in a battle for that loose puck. You can see Fisher takes his hand off his stick for just a second, grabs Tierney from the outside shoulder, and just enough to draw the attention of the in-zone official.
Second power play chance for the Sharks. So Gaustad, who just put the Predators up by 3, is the one who's sent out to face off against Jumbo Joe Thornton. Sharks had 2 shots on their first power play try. And we should add, Gabriel Bourque had another short-handed try. Down the left wing. Couture, now Pavelski. Brent Burns circles back to the outside, and Thornton lost control of it at the blue line. Skating in now Burns. Lowell with it. Off in front, and Rinne made 2 great stops, and then a third. You gotta be kidding me. Pekka Rinne, what a sequence of 3 straight stops.
And I'll tell you what, the Sharks get another chance after the whistle is blown. He stops that one too. Terrific play at Burns with the outlet, and Burns with the follow-up chance. Banging away at it are the Sharks. There you see Pavelski. By this moment, the whistle is blown. Pekka's still battling away in there.
So on the San Jose power play, Pekka Rinne, 3 consecutive stops. That is our Chamberlain save of the game. Slamming the door shut in front of that 4x6 opening. And now there's going to be a review.
In fairness, as we present to you our Chamberlain save of the game, it really ought to be plural.
Yes.
3 in succession. Probably just 2 that count for shots because the whistle had gone. Again, back to the interior to Burns. There's 2, 3, 4 perhaps. And then this one. By that time, play has been blown down, though Rinne doesn't quit on a whistle.
And as you just saw, now there's got across the line. The review just
there's that second follow-up attempt that Toronto may be wanting to take a look at. It's possible.
But they have passed muster.
Yeah, they've had a chance to review it and either confirm that it did not cross or don't have the ability to prove conclusively that it did. And a minute 11 remains in the Sharks' power play.
I believe, if I recall, muster is just outside Dixon.
Sounds about right.
Burns picks his way in. Looking for support, back for Thornton. Redirected once in the high slot. Dealt back for Thornton on the right half board. With plenty of traffic down low, he goes that general direction. Burns with the try, off the pad, Rinne, and then Thornton tries to stuff it home. Rinne doing his work again.
Couple another high-grade chances. San Jose.
Couture rotates to the front. Marleau gets it back. His shot, a redirect, bounces off Rinne's pad. Still 22 seconds left in this power play. Coming down low is Marleau. Out high for Burns. That one was blocked down. Calle Jarnkrok. Or excuse me, Gabriel Bourque.
Correct, Gabriel Bourque lays down, takes it away from Burns.
Marleau across, and did that hit the pipe as Pavelski went down on a knee?
I think that one may have hit the outside of the net.
The power play is over for San Jose. They had 5 shots on net and are a very frustrated group right now. They have to be, as that one is flipped down ice.
Redirect in the low slot. Rinne with yet another big save to keep this a 3-goal spread.
The stoppage here at 4:34. And a standing ovation here for Pekka Rinne.
Here's a chance for San Jose. This one goes off the outside post, far side. There you see Rinne sprawling.
So 6 shots, during that power play. And after the icing, the Predators are going to take a timeout.
Well, this really has been remarkable. I mean, for all the moments for San Jose to sag, they have used this Mike Fisher minor penalty as an opportunity to really elevate their game, and they are pressing like they've never pressed before in this young game. And I'll tell you what, it's Pekka Rinne who has held them at bay.
7 chances on that power play for San Jose. If you're just tuning in wondering where all the fans are, well, if you were not aware, an ice storm hitting Middle Tennessee a couple of days ago and made traveling extremely dangerous. Nothing like trying to drive down a street and if you're not on the Zamboni, because the Zambonis are more fit for it in many neighborhoods. Face-off, pulled back. Shepard toward the net. Lippert away, Rinne. Thrown down low there. And taken away by Bourque. Flipped out across the line. Sharks hammer it back in off the Zamboni door. Fisher backhands it down that left board. Predators going to get a change. Right after the timeout following the icing. Turned over by Kennedy. Shepard. To the end wall. Little finesse move there on Shepard, who is not normally a guy you can finesse. Now bursting in after the puck is Matt Cullen. Cullen's backhander goes high to the corner. The rebound of it fluttered up to center ice, taken down by Wingles. Hurdle goes after it with Seth Jones. Hurdle's pass stopped by Cullen and bounced out behind Scott Hannon. To center, picked off right there, Fisher. Tried to go behind the back to Cullen, cutting in. Up the board left side, Tomas Hurdle. Scott Hannon moves the puck in, stopped by Wingles. His shot deflecting off the end board and right there off Matthias Ekholm. 6:03 gone here in the second. Predators have scored twice. The Sharks have not tallied here, thanks to the work of number 35, Pekka Rinne. He is mounting a campaign for this week's first star in the NHL. He just was third star this last week. And look at those numbers. 3 games, that's all he could win, Stu. So he won all of them. Gave up 1.3 a game and stopped over 95% of the shots he faced.
Wins over Tampa Bay, Winnipeg, New Jersey Devils last time out. He really has been remarkable without question. Believe this, Pete. Over his last 16 games, he is 14-1-1. And let me qualify that one loss by saying that's against Anaheim. That's after a 3-week layoff. I'm going to forgive him for that one. I'll let that one go as he's rounding back into form. But 14-1-1 over his last 16 games. And I'll tell you what, we've made this point several times. It's probably going to come off like hyperbole. I'm not sure I've seen him play a better series than the one he just displayed here on the Preds penalty kill.
Agreed.
You said it. 7 high-grade chances, denied them all, including one that came after the whistle.
Yes.
To quit.
I mean, that, I got to tell you, and I'm not going to engage in this necessarily to say hyperbole, but that was the sort of play I was privileged to see from Dominic Hasek.
Yeah, Dominic, and I had a chance to play with Dominic when he was breaking into the league, believe it or not, back up under Eddie Belfour in Chicago. But the two things, several things these two goaltenders, Hasek and Rinne, have in common: terrific athleticism. But it's that competitive nature that really, I think, set them apart from the rest of the field. And again, I'll make the point here tonight. Pekka, the whistle has blown. Pavelski's got a chance. He's got him dead to rights. Rinne just won't quit on it. And this is the comment his teammates will make about him all the time. He hates to get scored on in practice. Really hates to get scored on in practice.
Let's go downstairs to Lindsay Raleigh here.
Hi, guys. As you know, this past Sunday, we had Nash Vegas 2015 Casino Night and Auction. And what an amazing event. I got a chance to host it. All kinds of gambling going on, having all kinds of fun. You guys were there. Did you win anything at the tables?
I won by not being at the table.
Yes.
That's the way it works for me.
And I broke even as well for that same reason.
It was a lot of fun. An awful lot of fun. Sharks, after that face-off, Nashville's own and blocked out of there by Ekholm.
Great job by Ekholm. Ekholm is just up probably 5 feet from the Nashville blue line. Terrific block as he fronts Brent Burns.
And a little shot that didn't get much on it, but Burns picked up the rebound.
I'll tell you, a repair to the playing surface, actually the glass here down in the Preds current zone, probably comes at a pretty good time. San Jose buzzing. If either team needs a little break, a little time for this to settle down, that may have benefited Nashville. We'll see how it plays out the last 13 of this period.
In the corner, Forsberg and Beck digging after the puck. Ekholm sends it back for Forsberg. Forsberg comes out, and that one was nicely knocked down by Ribeiro. That could have caused some problems there for Stalock.
It really could have.
They chop away at it, got it away from Ribeiro, but it's Bartley coming down the boards. Talk about activating a defenseman. Leaving it now for Ekholm. He also active. To the net goes Wilson, puck popped up in the air, and out of play to the fourth row.
The Predators are back at Bridgestone Arena 1 week from today to face off against the Colorado Avalanche. It's a Nissan 2 for Tuesday. Receive 2 lower-level tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and a Nashville Predators car flag for just $99. The puck drops at 7 p.m. at Bridgestone Arena. For tickets, visit NashvillePredators.com or your local Kroger Ticketmaster outlet, or call 615-770-7800.
To the left side of Stalock, quick shot off his shoulder. Yossi trying to keep that away, got it away from Pavelski. Here's Neal, and dropped it back for Colin Wilson. You really didn't see that one coming.
He did not. Back against his body goes Neal. Thought that was offside.
You have concurrence here, Counselor. Dillon for San Jose. Wilson slips it in. Tried to play it solo. And the pass behind Pavelski. And picked up by Carlson. Ribeiro slips it over to Yossi. Yossi cutting behind the net. Coming out with it. Ribeiro took his slot at the left point. Dillon tipped the pass intended for Neal. And it's shoveled ahead for Wingles by Tierney.
Good read by Dillon. Ribeiro telegraphs that he's trying to get down to Neal. Dillon reads that, steps into the lane. He's able to get San Jose to clear at least momentarily.
Pass is stolen there and taken now by Vitello. Poked out to center. Hertl did not get control of it. Otherwise, they have a 3-on-2, if not a 2-on-1. Hertl for Wingles. Wingles looking toward the front of the net, back out to the blue line, and that shot block comes right to Scott Hannon, tipped off the glass. Collision down against the Zamboni door yet again. Taken out of that corner. Tierney tried to get open for it, but it comes back to the San Jose zone. Irwin. He had the goal to put the Sharks up 1-0. Forsberg skated by. They get it through to the defenseman Hannon, who activated the center. Left side, that shot off the mark, off the glass in the corner. Anthony Vitello, who made the emergency trip back from Milwaukee today. Long pass off Forsberg. Deflects away. Down the right side, Kennedy. His shot stopped the rebound. Came out hard the other way. Now the Predators countered. Yarncroke tried to pump it in, stopped by Shepard. Kennedy again, toward the front of the net, and not able to settle that one down. There's a shot off the chest of Rinne, and the Predators break back out with it. Matthias Ekholm coming on, 1-on-3, and puts it in low.
Smart play by Victor Bartley defending in the Preds zone. Kennedy's coming hard. Puck thrown in to Kennedy. Bartley comes down hard on the stick and disrupts the scoring chance.
Shepherd trying to protect the puck as he crossed over left to right. Put out in front by Marleau. Let the Preds come back out with it. Here's Ribeiro with Wilson. Following up Neal. Neal shot, he scores! James Neal tallies at 10:31 to make it 5-1 Nashville.
Well, these two are just lethal together. James Neal, Mike Ribeiro. Watch Ribeiro. He's going to gain the line. Now watch him. He's going to escape to a little quiet ice. Lay off to Neal. And then once Neal given the puck, he knows exactly where he's going. He's on the left side. Short side is the chance, is the shot selection. And he blows it by Alex Stalock. 5-1 for the Preds. And there you see it.
First 20-goal scorer for the season for the Predators. And offside, San Jose. 10:38 gone here. Second period. And we'll return in just a moment. The Predators with 5 on the board. They gave up the first. They lead it 5-1.
Coach, James Neal able to put up the 5th goal up on the board. What did you see that you liked out of your offense in that series?
Well, I think we've done a good job here of making that middle lane drive and forcing their D back and opening up those lanes. And of course, when you give Nealer a little chance there to shoot pucks, that's a pretty good shot, obviously. So he was able to put it home.
Craig Smith, 2 goals tonight. What have you thought of his play during this game?
Well, I think he's been very opportunistic. You know, it's one of those games where they're a very quick team, and Pex has made big saves at the right time for us, and we've been able to score goals on our chances.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, they've been converting their chances, and San Jose is not because of number 35.
Coach Laviolette mixes up the line combinations last game versus New Jersey, and I'll tell you, it is having the intended effect in a large way.
Dillon with the shot. Rebound try. Rene right there to stop Vulcan Couture.
Right off the drop. San Jose marches back the other way. You see Rene punch that one out, play cycles to the corner, and that's going to be thrown down deep from the outside. Couture in front does a great job providing the net front traffic. Rene out at the top of the paint, takes away any daylight from in behind him in terms of what Couture sees. Boy,
right off that draw,
right
hooked onto Rene.
Right off the draw again.
So we had not seen Melker Karlsson previously. But here's a guy who gets called up from Worcester and gets put right in a line with Pavelski and with Thornton. That's a nice assignment.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to our counterparts on the other side. This guy is now an everyday NHLer. Not often you'll see a guy make that transition. An undrafted free agent, signed last summer. And he is making an impact in here, his 30th game with these Sharks.
Out of that corner. Tehanen had to use his skate to stop. Back up the left board. And this will not be icing. It was slowed down sufficiently to avoid that. Sharks out shooting the Predators 29-22. But yes, Nashville leads 5-1. Onto the wall. Alan Wilson. And that battle won by Wingles to get in the Nashville end. Lost there by Jones. Tried to put it out in front for Wingles, but over his head.
Wingles, that puck is on edge as he's trying to play it out into the mid-slot. Catches it on the toe, and it actually clears the Pred zone.
Down the middle now. Trying to make the move there, Tierney. Net up right away in the corner.
Good play by Anthony Boteto. Fronts Tierney. Won't buy the move. Separates man and puck.
Offside on the right wing as Ribeiro held up a little bit. So between games from Saturday's over New Jersey to tonight's, David Boyle pulled the trigger in a big trade with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, and you might argue, hey, here's a depth move for the Nashville Predators as they anticipate playoffs 2015, but I'll tell you what, these are impact guys. Cody Franson is playing in a top 2 pairing in Toronto alongside of Dion Phaneuf. He is in the top 20 in defenseman scoring this year, and Fred's effectively recalling a draft pick from their organization, Cody Franson. He comes full circle, and he'll have an impact as he is reinserted into the lineup. And you like Mike Santorelli. Plays any forward position, a guy that is super responsible defensively, and a guy that is really enjoying a pretty solid season himself. He's 11 goals, 18 assists for 29 points. And he'll be somewhere around 6th in forward scoring as he's inserted into this Predators lineup. I mean, that's a nice addition. Sure, that's depth, but these are two guys that can really make a difference for you at the forward and the defense position.
I wonder what sort of adjustments were being discussed there by Peter Laviolette and Phil Housley. Rather active discussion there on the bench. Out of the corner. Kennedy forced back, and then the quick shot there taken and deflects away. Justin Braun. Philip Forsberg with the puck, breaks out with Taylor back. Forsberg making the move left forward on Braun. Hits the puck back off the wall. And now rolls back in the direction of Forsberg. Uses back to protect the puck. Got a shot away, and that one stopped. And I got to tell you, staggered on that play is Justin Braun, just by Forsberg backing into him.
There's another Forsberg used to play like that. They called him El Fopa. He used to be a part of this organization as well. Braun did not appreciate how strong on the puck young Philip is. Watch him on the entry here. Outside, inside, back against himself. And look at, he eludes the checker so that he's able to claim that again. Play's going to cycle around back. Now watch. Braun's going to try and front him. Whoops. Sorry. Underestimated. He's a little more solid than I thought he was. 20 years of age. That man's a handful.
Yes, he is. And a nice illusion, not just because of the name, but that style. A physical Swede like Peter Forsberg. Seth Jones takes the pass. Here's Neal directing it across. Wilson's shot attempt rolled off the toe of his stick.
Sure did. He didn't get on that when he wanted to get on it. Terrific play by Neal to get it to him, though. Nice little pickup and an outlet pass off the backhand.
Neal stops one again on the board. A shot there with Wilson in front. Stalock able to keep him out of there. Yossi picks up, cuts around Couture. Comes out in front. And the puck went across with Scott Hannon coming over attempting to defend. It's Logan Couture carrying it. Chopped away from him. They put Wilson hard into the end wall, did Marleau. Neal breaks up the right wing. Crosses with Ribeiro. Ribeiro goes back to the bench as the Predators make a change on the lines. Cullen came up there right in the face of Couture. Couture and Marleau have been out there a long time. Now they go off. Marleau leaving his stick on the ice. Seth Jones for Ekholm. Toward Cullen. He just backhands it in.
Great play up to Cullen by Matty Ekholm. Under all kinds of pressure in the Nashville defensive zone. Smart play.
Up the right board, tipped out Pavelski. It's Ekholm in the Nashville zone, ahead of Carlson. Rifling a pass to Cullen. Back to Cullen it comes, fired it up over the crossbar, and bidding for his third goal, Craig Smith, covered up by Alex Stalock. 15-20 gone here in the second. Predators have taken a 5-1 lead. Look at Roman Yossi break in on Stalock. Right now, we want to salute the fans who braved the weather and safely made it here to Bridgestone Arena for the game to cheer on the Predators tonight. We'd also like to take a moment to salute all of you fans watching at home who were unable to make it in safely. We look forward to seeing all of you here next Tuesday night back in Smashville. Yeah, not an easy day to get around. An easy last couple of days, actually. Off the faceoff win, Jones down for Beck, and Seth Jones follows up. It bounced off the stick to Beck. Here's Anthony Bitetto. If you don't know his story from today, you should. A day long of travel back from Milwaukee.
Arrives today. Gear arrives late. Folks, he didn't even take warm-up. He's inserted into the game. 4 shifts into the first period. And I'll tell you what, he's having a solid outing. He has looked good on the defensive side of the puck.
Seth Jones carries. Here's Forsberg. Yarncroke driving to the middle. Puck played away. Through center. There'll be no icing here. Quick pass up left wing. Bounced off the heel of Forsberg's stick.
Those rare occasions you'll give Philip a pass that he can't handle. Loses that one off the heel.
Well, he spoils everybody who passes to him.
He really does. Makes them look good.
Yeah. There's one off the skate of Hannon.
Can't give a good player a bad pass, they often say, and he's that player.
Thrown into the zone by Bourque. As we come down to 3:20 left in the period. It's the second period in Nashville here. Bourque, well, Burns lost his stick trying to defend him. Here's Ekholm. Ekholm around Kennedy to an open corner. Paul Gostad got his second, threw one right on there, off the stick of Stalock. And up into the mesh. Stopping the play with 17:04 gone in the period. And the Predators head out tomorrow, heading into the teeth of some more winter weather at the Islanders Thursday night, at the Flyers Saturday afternoon, and at Buffalo early Sunday evening. 6 o'clock at Long Island, noon Central from Philly, and 5 o'clock Central from Buffalo. So we'll have all those for you.
A little back-to-back action facing Philadelphia. Buffalo right on the heels of the Philadelphia game.
John Tavares last night scored 11 seconds into that crazy game with the Rangers, in which the Rangers overcame a 2-0 deficit, a 3-1 deficit, and won 6-5.
That was one of the most entertaining games I think I've seen all year long. There's just no quit in those Rangers. And hey, ex-Predator Kevin Klein, game winner, 6-5, the sixth goal for the Rangers to decide that one. Terrific play by Kevin Klein. Head up, picks his corner. Rangers win. Ooh, that was a great attempt by Neal.
Shot blocked by Vlasic, yes. Nieto comes down the right side. Was trying to hit Marleau, but Marleau got slowed up. In the corner, Yossi on Couture. Stolen back by Couture. His shot blocked. Neal on the board with it. Yossi behind the Nashville net, settling things down. Nieto and the rest of his line mates peel back for San Jose to make a change.
See Neal run a little post pattern out of the end zone there?
Yeah. He zigged and zagged.
Yossi just couldn't find him.
Up the right board. Carlson flips in. Pavelski the first one in. Carlson follows up as Thornton lagged behind. No icing here.
Good play by Wilson as Thornton is pinching down.
Stalock was near the no-goalie zone there.
Very close.
Pulled away before Smith could get it. Was that too many men? Flipped up over the left board and chipped out by Cullen.
Good read by Seth Jones. That's nearly a 2-on-1. Seth gets into the passing lane. Stick on puck. Nashville's able to clear.
Ekholm pressured by Wingels. Ekholm, the long out down the left wing. And this will be an icing as Knowles waved off. Hannon actually had taken out Cullen and prevented him from playing the puck.
Tough play for Stalock. It actually hits his skate to negate the icing. He's trying to watch that come through the paint. It grabs a piece of his skate as it passes by.
That'll be held by Rene. And then that follow-up trying to play the puck in. Irwin drilled his teammate Wingels directly in the right cheek.
James Neal, 5th goal for the Preds tonight, his 20th this season, and that's the 7th straight season James Neal has scored 20 goals or more, and that really is every season that he's been an NHLer. Track him from Dallas to Pittsburgh to Nashville, present tense, folks. Every year he's played in this league, he's been 20 or north of 20. That's a commendable achievement. Lethal release.
Burns' shot was blocked. From the right side, Kennedy trying to play it low. Tipped out. Gotten back and fired in by Goodrow. Shepard in the trapezoid. Puck loose there. Forsberg tried to flip it out. Burns the drive. And that one handled by Pekka Rinne. 32 and a half to go in the second.
Another big save by Rinne. Strange circumstance, Mr. Weber. Not sure the last time I've had an opportunity to say this, but it's a 5-1 spread, folks. And really, this game, if you're just tuning in, it could be a tie game.
Yes, it could.
Rinne has been a difference maker. Shots are 32 to 27 in favor of the San Jose Sharks, the visiting Sharks, but that doesn't really tell the tale. There have been some high-grade opportunity, these San Jose Sharks.
Sharkin could have been up 2-0 if not for Rinne.
Conservatively, Rinne has stopped 5 sure goals here tonight.
From the left board. Turning it up nicely. Couture the keep in. 13 seconds remain in the second. Lobbed by Ekholm. It got around Dillon. And a pass off to Gaustad. And that one held by Stalock. What a great opportunity there for Paul Gaustad.
Terrific individual effort by Gabby Bork. Watch the recovery, the retrieval by Bork, and then wow, watch this pass. Back across his body. He knows Gaustad's there. That's not a blind pass. He's had a peek before he ever makes that play. Gaustad, terrific release by him. He knows he's got a narrow window of time to get that puck back at the net. He blasts it, but Stalock is able to get back to the far side to deny him. Nice little exchange. Bork and Gaustad.
Little juggle here. Fisher with Forsberg. And Smith right in front, and that deflected off that melee in front of the net. So at the end of 2, the Predators have added 3 goals to their lead. It is 5-1 after 40 minutes. And the shots favoring San Jose 15-13 for a 32-28 advantage for the visitors. But that's only in the shots on goal. Predators up 5-1. Stay tuned. Our second intermission. NHL highlights and scores. Lindsay with assistant coach Bill Housley and Christie's breakdown all coming up. Here come the Predators, ready to start action in the third period at Bridgestone Arena. They have a 5-1 lead, and let's take a look at how that lead was built. If you can do that through these stats, Stu.
It's possible to do that. You can sort of focus on the power play. Preds were 1 of 1 here tonight. Over was San Jose in their 2 opportunities, and credit Pekka Rinne for keeping them 0-4. That's where they had the bulk of the 7 chances they had through the second period. The San Jose Sharks on the man advantage. Face-off 1-1. Hefty margin in favor of the Nashville Predators, 26-17. Here heading into third period action. Key for the Preds, and you heard Coach Housley discuss this with our Lindsay Rowley. Foot on the gas, play with the kind of pace you've played with for much of this game to close this game out and make a safe play, make a conservative play.
Here's Vlasic flinging in the Nashville edge. Joe Thornton wasn't able to hold on to it there. Yossi flips it up not once but twice and is held in by Burns. Pavelski back of the net. Vlasic steps into one, blocked wide and up into the air at that. Burns a follow-up, misses the net. A little high with it. Carlson tried to put it out front, backhanded away, but not out by Yossi. Vlasic the shot as the Sharks try to start this period putting the pressure on. Vlasic tipped over and fed now. Philip Forsberg. Forsberg across the line, but offside, they say. Taylor Beck on the left wing.
Taylor Beck anticipating from the off-wing side. But Forsberg is fronted at the line. He makes a little play just to evade the defending San Jose Shark, enough to put Taylor Beck offside in the process.
Flung in by Barkley. Into the corner. Couture was challenging there. Now, James Neal For Colin Wilson, uses his keister to create some room. Braun on to the right board. And it's Dillon stepping in to take the pass and carry in. Tipped there by Ribeiro at the last, preventing a try for Patrick Marleau.
Gosh, it looked like Ribeiro's right out of the play. Reaches out right at the end of his stick. Able to disrupt that pass from Dillon to prevent the scoring chance.
Neal comes out with it now. Taken over by Irwin. Third period, a minute 48 in. Predators lead the game 5-1. Being outshot, though, 32-28. Here's Smith. 2 goals tonight for him. Carrying behind the net now, Cullen. Cullen has Potato. Cullen tried to wrap around. Potato comes out high with it. Somehow got it over left side, and that shot is held by Stalock.
Youth Hockey League registration for the spring session at Fordyce Center is now open. Register by February 27th and receive 4 tickets to 3 Nashville Predators home games and a professional photo with the Stanley Cup. Visit Fordyce.com for more information and to register today.
To the right side of Alex Stalock. Potato back with Seth Jones. And Vlasic pulls the puck. But it's held in by Yarncrow. Deflected wide, Vlasic. Beck to the blue line, lunging to keep it in, Jones. Beck in the corner. And then a hand cleared by Burns. Forsberg sends in Beck. His shot deflecting off the glove side of Stalock. Shepard comes out with it for San Jose. Lost it. Vlasic picks it up. Bad save, Rene. Potato. Got it around Forsberg. And Jones drops it back for Potato again. Down the left wall. Carlson. Across it comes. Return to Joe Thornton. Thornton back there and off the pipe. And Rene covers up. Huge shot there. As Braun got the shot away, but you heard that ring rather solidly.
Happened a couple of times to these Nashville Predators here tonight. Terrific play at the net. It's going to come from the top side, thrown down from the point. All kinds of traffic in front. In around the net front. Fools Rene at least temporarily. Rings off that far post, and he's able to smother it as it kicks back towards the Finnish netminder.
Who's had a pretty fair night.
Oh my gosh. He had a night. You would put that second period up there with some of the best periods you've seen him play this year.
Oh, yes.
I don't think it's stretching credulation to say that this game, if not tied, should be at least very close, were it not for Pekka Rinne here tonight.
And on this stand here, I mean, you also have to take the third period against Winnipeg and put that in there.
Winnipeg left the building thinking, gosh, we got beat by number 35.
Up through to center. Weber got there, but it rolls up on the shelf in front of the San Jose bench, going out of play. Hey, Preds fans, get closer to all the action with Predators Live, presented by Nissan. Tune in for all of the pregame excitement, plus the post-game analysis with Nashville's finest. Don't miss Predators Live before and after the game on Fox Sports Tennessee. Stay tuned for that here tonight. 16:11 remaining in the third period. Ekholm bangs it in. Irwin turns up the left side. Could not get the puck to Marleau. Now it comes through, but that was interrupted by Ribeiro. Neal went back there after Nieto. In the referee's crease, they call that little semicircle in front of the penalty box. Bounced off Irwin, goes over to pick it up. Tried to go through some traffic for Couture. And it deflects right away for Ribeiro. He uses the pitching wedge and lobs it in. Predators get a line change. All but Ribeiro. And now Ribeiro indeed goes off. Vlasic bounced off Wingles. Here's Cullen now with Fisher and Smith. For Fisher, tipped right on, and Stalock is able to stop it.
Good chance for the Fisher line. Strong save by Stalock. Wide drive. Smith that throws it into the middle. Sorry, Cullen that throws it into the middle. Look at Fisher's going hard to the inside post. Little redirect from just under the hash mark. Stalock closes up. Takes it all the way down low. Good scoring chance for the Preds assistant captain, Mike Fisher. 27 points his last 32 games coming into tonight's contest. Last time out versus New Jersey, he had an assist in that one and 7 attempts he threw at the net. He was a busy man. He was also 10 of 13 inside the faceoff circle for 77%. He has made a world of difference since coming back from a ruptured Achilles tendon earlier this season.
It's a victory to just come back from one of those, but to come back and excel as he has.
Never mind play the way that he has. You're exactly right. Took him about 3 games to round into top form, and I'll tell you, he's been a tear ever since. One of the more overused cliches in our game, but you watch Mike Fisher play, you'll notice he does some rather remarkable things at either end of the ice.
Lined up for this face-off. Still reaching for it in the circle, taken away by Kennedy. Goudreau. But the battle down behind the net. Comes away from Kennedy. Poke checked away, but going to be a penalty here. Hooking is the indication.
If it's Matt Cullen, I might object to that. No, it looks like it's going to go to Craig Smith. Cullen made a nice play jumping down on Kennedy. Kennedy just had the puck. And Cullen collapsed down low to lift his stick to prevent that chance. Not sure I pick up where. We'll get a chance to look at it here. There is Smith. He's from behind. Lost a half step on the attacking San Jose Shark, and it's kind of a quick little tug with the stick. It's flagged for the hooking minor.
Third power play of the night for San Jose. Nothing of the previous 2 with 8 shots as that one is cleared. Burns with the puck on his stick. Logan Couture chopped away from him by Jones, and then Burns drills it in. Ekholm held in at the point, given to Burns. To the front of the net was cutting Marleau, and that one tipped high. Then a pass intended for Pavelski, tipped but not out by Cullen. Joe Thornton's pass. Getting a little piece of that there was Mike Fisher. Burns pass, Yarncroke tapped that right in front. Pavelski off the pad of Rinne.
Terrific play by Yarncroke. It bounces off of him. The Sharks are able to make a play anyways. Good save by Rinne yet again with the Sharks man advantage.
On to the board, taken on right side Carlson. The flex over for Hertl, bounced away of him. Nieto in that corner to the left side of Rinne, and the puck comes away and is cleared out for Cullen. Cullen pulls the shot wide to the short side. 19 seconds remaining on this San Jose advantage. Reversed by Bartley and cleared by Gaustad. Time ticking away. And that will be 1 shot on net for San Jose on the power play. But they have possession back of the Nashville net. Working against Ekholm. trying to come out with that puck. There's Kennedy. That's lobbed back. Back there where Brendan Dillon has to try to clear it. Sent in by Ribeiro. 7.5 gone third period. Predators lead by 4. The Sharks really pressured Nashville early. Curling on the side. Nieto, his cross-ice pass picked off, and that shot deflected wide to Rinne's right. Now breaking through Forsberg. He tips it. Going to be a penalty call here as that one is played by San Jose. Hooking is the call at 7:54. Predators will return with the power play. Forsberg stopped there on that breakaway.
Great little three-way exchange here as we go to break. It's Neal to Ribeiro. Ribeiro up to Forsberg, and Forsberg will ultimately draw this minor. Watch how it all plays out. Terrific little exchange here. Right into the interior goes Forsberg, and Sharks pulling on him from either side all the way down. Take your pick. Dillon or Braun. You can make a case that both draw minors in the process. Strong bid by Forsberg. Good passes, Neal and Ribeiro.
Looked a little funny bounce up on the shelf. The Predators are getting pressured while the Sharks are shorthanded by the likes of Joe Pavelski.
Pavelski doing a great job down low, keeping the Preds hemmed in temporarily.
As the puck is curled off the left side, Shea Weber, Yossi, James Neal has Forsberg behind. The puck goes to Forsberg. Fisher was in front. Now Neal goes in front. Yossi out high at the line. Forsberg cuts in. And Neal, the one-timer, pulled it high, and it goes out of play.
James Neal with another opportunity here with the Preds man advantage. Forsberg, Ribeiro out there with him. Forsberg's going to filter it down low and then just feeds Neal on the off-wing side. He's down low, bad angle chance, but trying to beat Stalock back to the near post. Quick pass. Stalock does well to get down there and front James Neal.
Puck comes up the Predators' left side wall. Ribeiro was back to keep it in at the point. Pass across ice, picked off. Wingles chipped away from him. Now Dillon from the San Jose zone sends it in. And Rinne keeps it away from Logan Couture. Seth Jones being pursued as he goes down ice. Dropping back to the point is Ekholm. Ekholm and Seth Jones at the points. Jones gets the pass, tees off. Stalock able to see that all the way coming in.
Market improvement to the power play for the Nashville Predators. Yeah, through December 23rd, they're 12 of 106 attempts. That's good for 29th in the NHL, but what a turnaround since the latter part of December. 21 for 75, good for second in the league through that stretch in time. You talked with Coach Laviolette about it, really credits the patience of Phil Housley. Sticking with it, putting the right people out there, put them in a situation where in time the chemistry will form and things will start to click. That's exactly what's happened. Take some time to build familiarity. Power play is all precision, and precision takes time.
And this one is concluded with one shot on the San Jose net as possession continued. Forsberg stopped by Stalock. It is 5-1 Nashville, 9:58 to go in regulation. Predators a 5-1 lead, 9:58 left in regulation, joined from the bench by goaltender Carter Hutton. And yes, we have a clear shot of Carter right now after the guys got out of the camera range of our goaltender, all ready to chat with us. So,
yeah, had to sit him down a little bit here. Nice, must always get his face and his mug in the TV.
Carter, just noticing the play. I mean, we talk about this man a lot, but second period action, San Jose's on the power play. Pretty impressive example of penalty killing by your counterpart, Pecorine.
Yeah, it's huge. I think we're hitting the repeat button here again. It's something we've talked about so many times. And, I look back through to the first period when it's 1-0. He makes a ton of big saves, and then all of a sudden it's 2-1 us. The game can change so quickly. Same thing in that second period when it's 4-1, and then he kills it off for us pretty much with a couple of huge saves, almost 4 in a row there, and he stops the one after the whistle just to do a little more justice.
You notice that there are those moments when perhaps the club isn't playing well, but he turns in a series like that, and it's kind of like the confidence grows and the game starts to build for your Predators.
Yeah, all year he's been our MVP, and it's things like that he can, when we are on our periods again here, and the biggest thing is, we can have a slow start like that, and then we build off it from there, and we can find our game. It's a tough day, the weather, guys coming in here trying to get a bounce back, had a couple days off here, and we get into it here quickly.
Well, Carter, we thank you very much. Ben made a clear shot of you from the cameras up here.
Yeah, thank goodness. See you guys.
Terrific defensive play by Victor Bartley. 2-on-1 coming back towards the Nashville net. He lays down in front of that one, stick outstretched, and disrupts the chance. Gets a pat on the back from Pecorine as he heads over to the bench. Thanks for the break, pal.
Shepard and Goodrow collided. But Goodrow bounces back, tries to center, and that shot block did not get through to Pecorine as Brendan Dillon tried to tee off. Now poke checked away by Stalock, preventing Colin Wilson from having a clean chance. Wilson on the right board as the puck was held in by Ribeiro. Here's Seth Jones, his shot blocked by Shepard. Onto the wall, Goodrow got it out right wing side at center, but Seth Jones said, hey, that's my puck. He came back and got it. Ribeiro delaying a bit on the right board. Vlasic in pursuit of him. Throws one, down past Carlson. And now Carlson can't get it out against Josi. Now they say, yes, Josi skated out with it.
Ooh, tight call at the line. Roman Josi flagged for the offside. Hey, Preds fans, Subway and the Nashville Predators have teamed up to quench your thirst this month. Purchase a limited edition Nashville Predators Cup during your next visit to any participating Subway location. Bring the cup to Bridgestone Arena for free soft drink refills during all home games this month.
Well, we better bring ours next Tuesday night.
Let's do so.
Back home.
The Subway Cup.
Bourque now for Nystrom. Into the skates of Bourque. Nystrom working that corner with Burns on him. Then tried to get a shot on, but that was stopped by Pavelski.
And note where this Gostad line is playing these minutes against the top line for the other side. 200 feet from Pecorine and the Nashville net. These guys have done such a great job as a shutdown unit against top 6 competition for the other side.
Back to the net, Burns. Couture, and his stick blew up as the blade came flying out of the shaft of the stick. Puck goes on net, blade goes to the corner.
And Pecorine smothers to force a face-off to his right-hand side. Not much torque on this at all. Kind of a harmless-looking play from the outside. And as you say, Weber is fronting Couture, and it just explodes in a kind of a strange spot. You're accustomed to seeing them explode kind of in the middle part of the shaft. That one is down more towards the hosel.
And there's a shot that Rene could not have seen anything. Right in front was Big Joe, and now the puck is flipped through center ice. Dillon trying to get back as quickly as he can. Patrick Marleau for Couture. Cullen on the puck there, and it's flipped in by Ekholm. 6.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Predators 5, Sharks 1. 2-1 Nashville after 1. They added 3 in the second. Hurdle's pass. Tipped in off Wingles. Tierney tried to follow up. Tierney with the puck left side. That's now for Irwin. Cannon shovels it toward that corner. And trying to flip it out in front of a backhand try from in tight by Winkle, stopped by Rene. Slid in by Yarncroke. Onto the wall. And tipped out behind Seth Jones, so Yarncroke goes back. Sharks with a change. Seth Jones going a little bit wide there at Potato. Off the skates, it went to Forsberg. Vlasic for San Jose. Vlasic and Burns, their number one pairing. Shepard gets it back on the sideboard, then tipped out of there by Beck.
Good stick by Taylor Beck. Front Shepard at the left point side. Closes him into a little hole and turns it over.
Shepard versus Ekholm. Forced back to the wall. And that shot stopped and the rebound tapped away before Gaudreau could tuck it home. Shot from the sidewall. Scrambling Rene. He's able to get enough on it. James Neal could not clear. Gaudreau put a shot right on. Coming up with it now, Kennedy. Right side, Burns a blast. Puck left in front. Coming over there is Ekholm off his skate. So Rene getting some help here in the period. Burns skates ahead, right side. Shepard trying to go back door. That puck up over the Nashville goal and out of play in time for a standing ovation here. Predators a 5-1 lead on San Jose with 4:34 left in the third period. After much voting, tonight's performance moment brought to you by Bridgestone. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion. Sharks on the power play early in the second.
You remember back to second period action, Fisher penalty. I count about 4 in that series. Perhaps that's number 5. That won't go down as a shot. That one occurs after the whistle. Tremendous series. The competitive instincts, the athleticism of Pekka Rinne to keep that one a very tight game at that moment.
Gostad tips in. He ties up Braun. As Dillon comes over also. And Bourque, and pressured there by Carlson.
No stranger to a good puck battle, Gabby Bourque.
No. And this, of course, helps the clock tick down. And that doesn't hurt the Predators' cause at all.
No, not at all. That's where you want to be playing these last 4 minutes as far from the Nashville net as you possibly can. Again, I'll make the point. Gostad group is out there against top 6 competition from the other side, keeping them as far from the Nashville end zone as they possibly can. Those are effective minutes. Paul Gostad comes into the night. Face-off percentage good for 4th in the NHL, 57.8. He is always knocking around the top 5 in the league. Up there inside the face-off circle.
Off the face-off, here's Ekholm. Knocked down behind the net nicely. And a bid there, but Smith couldn't get the shot away. Looking for his 3rd. Fisher. Cannon on him. Pass across, tapped away. And now Couture clears it, left side Nieto. Ekholm. And lob to center ice. Bouncing puck, handled there by Irwin. Irwin got the goal, 5:26 of the first, to give the Sharks a 1-0 lead. Forsberg's pass taken off the right board by Victor Bartley. In the air to center. And of course, Forsberg skates up and just tips it in. And then he just hammers the big guy, Burns.
And comes up with it in a battle for the loose puck.
Here's Brent Burns. Started his career at the Minnesota Wild. And back on D this year. Trying to center it, and Hurdle's pass or shot was deflected away. Burns, another try. Rinne elects to cover it up. As we summarize tonight's game for you.
You remember that the Sharks opened the scoring 5:26 the first period. Preds have come back in resounding fashion to score 5 unanswered goals. Weber, Smith with a pair, Gostad and Neal. Ribeiro's had a terrific night distributing 2 assists for him, and Pekka Rinne in and amongst all that, to me, has been the difference maker. This game would be awfully tight were it not for him stopping 41 of the 42 shots he's faced. And many of those 42 high-grade opportunity, like that little performance moment package we showed you just a second ago.
Pass of Bitetto was blocked. Coming back out in front with it, Kennedy. Up over the stick side of Pecorine. Burns from the circle. Fired the puck wide. Kennedy could not get that around the Predators' defense there. And Seth Jones comes out of the zone with the puck. Crossed over for Beck. His shot was blocked. Beck knocked down. Lost his stick in the process. And it will be Kennedy for San Jose.
Lost or did it break or did it just disappear? I can't spot the stick out there anywhere.
Did it vaporize? I think that's what had happened.
That's a tight
for
grip.
Bork. Yes, it is. And Bork pulls it wide short side. Gostad stepping down the wall, Bartley. And out of play it goes with 96 seconds remaining in the third period. Taking a look at the Western Conference. Here the Predators still 96 seconds to go and gunning to get to the 84-point level.
And there you start to get a sense of how desperate things are becoming for these San Jose Sharks. You take a look at the LA Kings now in the 9th spot in the Western Conference. They've won their last 5 in a row. Minnesota is 8-1-1 in their last 10. Tough stretch of hockey for San Jose at home. 5 games they played recently this month, winless in all 5.
Puck popped up in the air from behind the net. Nystrom a try. Backhand whack at it by Bork, and that blocked by Stalock. Gostad the keep in. Stolen away by Bork, trying to jam it home. No. Braun put it over onto the side.
Terrific determination, second effort by Gabby Bork to create that chance.
Stepping in, Ekholm off the face mask of Stalock.
He's got to readjust the mask too. Ekholm from the outside, strong play.
Under a minute remaining. Net is still keeping the man in there. We're down by 4. Irwin in the corner. Couture's pass. Tipped away and coming out, Eric Nystrom. Nystrom a move around Marlowe and then dumps it softly into the San Jose zone.
Smart play, long grinding shift from that Gostad line again, and then you gotta love, they leave it deep in the San Jose end as they exit.
Couture for Nieto, misses the net. Couture trying to put it back in front. Wilson couldn't get a hold of it. Neal now against Nieto, onto the wall for Wilson. Wilson attacking the San Jose zone. On the right board, Couture laid it to center, stopped by Bitetto. 5 seconds remaining. Jones goes behind the net to take a knee, and the Predators are going to take this one 5-1.
Well, they allow the first one against. Pecorine faces all kinds of high-grade opportunity and gives this club an opportunity to get their sea legs, generate some opportunity at the other end, and then it's 5 unanswered goals. And peppered in and amongst that is a huge penalty kill. Second period action. Mike Fisher sitting in the box. A number of terrific chances for the San Jose Sharks. Pecorine equal to the task on each and every occasion. And here we sit. 5-1 spread in favor of your hometown Nashville Predators.
So ice storm night here in Nashville, and still 8,215 made their way through the turnstiles for this game tonight.
Some awfully hardy Preds fans, and I'll tell you what, they got a hearty dose of Pecorine and a goaltending extravaganza tonight. Great game, a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to call.
Gone now downstairs to the Fox Sports Tennessee zone. Mark Howard and Terry Crisp. Gentlemen.